السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. يسعدنا ويسرنا جدا أن نشارك GEG سودان في المناسبات العالمية كالعادة under the leadership of Dr. Shahinaz, who always inspired us, and a very dedicated leader. Inshallah, my part is about assigning tasks and activities using Wardwall. And of course, dealing with these issues is very important first to start the theoretical part about teaching English in general using these tools. My action plan for this session is enable teachers acquire new teaching skills by training teachers on using Wordwall and live worksheets. Following up teachers' lesson planning, helping them to achieve learning outcomes by giving persistent constructive feedback. And also checking the accuracy of the content of the recorded lessons. All these together, in addition to follow teacher strategies, feedback, interaction with the student to create suitable safe environment by giving feedback through the chat feature and training. We also associate checking student performance on the platform using these applications, using these tools, checking the continuous assessment done by the teacher and giving appropriate feedback. Of course, we have some beliefs about language learning and teaching. For me and for many other teachers, language learning is basically about empowering people. We want to give them power. The student comes first. This means that our plans, our PowerPoints, our timing of activities, our language focus, and tasks must be made and used to suit them. This is Kate. We also should speak before starting using these tools, the right conditions for learning. We need to look at our student emotional well-being. This is particularly after the pandemic. Our students are alone online, and when we want to come back again to the classes or blended learning, we also seek their emotional well-being. We have to care about all these things together and make sure our learners feel safe, comfortable, and ready to learn. Because again, when they come back, they feel there is a gap between what they have been doing at home and when they come to the back to the class with many precautions, with many instructions concerning their safety, their health safety, their emotional safety, and all other relevant things. To make a student ready to learn, we need to use names, as we used to do it. We use names so that they feel that they are important, they are part of the class, and so. And also, we have to establish a regular routine. Whenever our students are accustomed to certain instructions, starting from classroom management, discipline, using their book notes, pens, and the necessary tools for studying. All these must be safeguarded, and we have to make them used to be organized and know what to do exactly. Also, we have, whenever we find a chance, we have to give positive feedback, because the positive feedback, particularly at this state, these conditions, and these days, is very important to engage students in learning, because they were not at all feel at ease during the outbreak of that pandemic. Also, we have to make eye contact so that every student will feel that he is part of this community, he is an important part of this community. We also have to vary tune. Varying tune is important, because keeping at one stage of that sound will be boring and will be monotonous and will not help in engaging our students. And also, we have to personalize. When we mention students' names and relate the lesson to their own life, this will help them a lot in learning. Making eye contact is important. We must allow the student interest. Starting greeting and warming up activity or game, the teacher must be very enthusiastic and also must smile to the student. This will help in building rapport in the online classroom or inside the classroom directly. Both are needed for this. Just like this is a response back of the student when he's greeted by the teacher, she is feeling very happy and she is really engaged in learning and so on. I will start with Wardwall. Of course, Wardwall is one of the most effective, I think, with live worksheet. They are almost very effective in assigning tasks, in varying tasks for a different level of student. We must not keep at one level, because we cannot engage our student if we focus on only one level of student. We must also keep in mind the learning styles of our students, those who are visuals, those who are kinesthetic, those who are also audio learners. We must find something. They have to find something that draw their attention, engage them in learning, and help them. Of course, there are different kind of activities and tasks for just like classic games, which are very interesting and very helpful for our students. And Wordwall, classic, jungle, primary, Wild West, TV game show, spooky, and clouds. All these provide opportunities for different students with different learning styles to be engaged in learning. And it is just like a gamification of learning, giving them an opportunity to play as well as to learn at the same time. جدا نحب انه طلابنا يكونوا مهتمين، يكونوا مشتملين في الدرس، متاح لهم الفرص المختلفة بأساليب التعلم بتاعتهم المختلفة، حتى انهم يجدوا الاهتمام سواء كان من المعلم او من زملائهم، ويجدوا الفرصة في انهم يدرسوا. For me, I will go directly to the practical part, which is about Wordwall and live worksheet, and we will see how, to what extent they are very helpful. Let me go to Google, and then inshallah we'll see how helpful is Wordwall to our students. I'm going to make interactive activities and tasks using Wardwall. This is Wardwall. Of course, there are already made activities, and there are activities which can be created by the teacher. I will give an example of both creating and having an already made activities from Wordwall. I will start, for example, with a quick series of multiple choice questions, or I can start with match up, drag and or matching pairs. All these are very helpful. Missing words. All these are varied activities which help our students, for example, to study and to learn and to be engaged in learning really. Finding the match, for example, matchup. This is a keyword. My keyword, for example, and is improve. I will write the definition. Make better, make or become better. We'll add another item, paste, which means break suddenly. And I will add another item, overwhelm. And its meaning, give too much. Prophecy. I will add another item for words and meaning, degrade. Which means treat or regard someone with disrespect. Then I will end, for example, my activity, and I will see in the many types of, for example, for drag, and then they started dragging, break suddenly. I will bring it here. Degrade, treat, or with disrespect, improve, make better, overwhelm. Sorry. And then I will submit the answer. We will see that this is another one. Then the students will be given feedback. I can also share this. Just I click here, share, and then I will take it. For example, set the assignment, and then I will, for example, send it to my student. Another the same activity we'll find it in classic, this is in different teams. For example, another type, primary, for example, we will find the same activity for dragging. This is one also. I will finish it. Different ways. Also here, it can be done by another interesting. This variety is very important because each student has a favorable, for example, way of doing the thing. Treat or disregard someone with disrespect, degrade. For example, I will put it here. Then make or become better, improve, break suddenly, first, give too much, overwhelm. So then I will submit my answers, the student will submit the answers, and will be given the feedback, the mark, whether he is with some motivation, so that he will be motivated. In the jungle also, this is another one. It will make them feel that in different ways, in leaves, so all these are opportunities for the student to do many activities. I can also see my own activities. I can go back and see my own activities. If I have another activity, for example, just like this, which I already made myself. For example, if I want to introduce my student with tools, so that they can identify these tools and ask. It can be also reinforcement. Also, I will do the same thing, including this other activity. It will help a lot for engaging. So through all these number of activities, it will be, instead of recoursing or doing that, the student will themselves, for example, recognize and remember this, because visualization will help a lot in for example, increasing the cognition and meta-cognition of the student. Also, I can also do that through this activity 1 can be done in using another thing. For example, axe, for example, is also here with another different way. Clouds also is one of these activities for reinforcing the same word. For example, they remember to the first one, and so on. By doing this, multiple activities, students will be ready, for example, to study, to be engaged in learning, to feel that they are really reading and they are very interested in these activities. Again, create activities. It should not be only as for example, for only part of the language, but for different items of language, vocabulary, for tenses, we can, for example, go to the present simple tense and see another example. We can make sentences, we can fill the gap, all these things together. Also, we can again go back to other activities. We can take the already made activities, going back to Wordwall. We can also take the already made activities. Here are matching pairs, word search. For example, we can take this one, and we can specify what exactly do we want. Yeah, if we want, what do we want exactly? For example, here I want to check their knowledge of tenses. For example, I can choose that tense. Again, I will choose multiple choice quiz with answers. For example, if you want to introduce a certain theme, the job of reporting, writing, photographing, or care is called, for example, if I say, I will see how it is correct, and then they will go to another one, definitions. Very, very helpful, very enjoyable. Something that you have selected, choice. We can do many other relevant activities. Also, I will also choose one as an error, for example, so that a student will see how the feedback is done. For example, I will choose this. Also, the student is given a bonus, just like a game. He will choose one of these, whether it is adding or subtracting from the sum. This is subtracted points from the student. Then we will go to another part, question, collected from different places. We'll choose one as a mistake, and so that we will see an error. Demanding, of course, but let us say this is incorrect. We'll see how the feedback will come, and then the correct answer is given. So the student will not need someone to, for example, to correct. All these are very helpful activities for the student and make them engaged in learning. Again, the student is going to be given a bonus so that it can help him, for example, to be motivated at the end of the lesson, for example, or the activity. He will know exactly what is happening. Say we have chosen this again. We are very unlucky. So it is subtracted from the student, then he will start again answering questions, place where something begins, sources. Take suddenly and quickly grab, and then when he finished, then the student continue answering these questions with these bonuses. Again, he is going to be given a bonus. This time, inshallah, we will be lucky. We hope that we will be lucky. Yes, this is better than nothing. This is maybe the last question. Famous people such as celebrities. Then finally, will be given the thank you. This is the assessment, complete assessment, and the student after doing it, for example, I can also share the link, get the link and send it directly to the teacher in the, for example, Google Classroom or in any other relevant platform. This is also, there are multiple, for example, multiple chances and tasks for the student, adding shapes, doing a lot of things in different. I'm focusing on the language, of course, but there are also other things and other tasks for other subjects, just like math. What are the houses made of? Here the task also to identify and very clear. It might be palm branches, I think. And then he will choose another one until he finishes. Very clear, it's made of soil. Then it continues like that. This is very clear, made from stone. So a student will identify what houses are made of. And then we can also use these prompts in, for example, describing houses in different places. We can change it into writing instead of reading. There are also many other relevant activities which can be used by the student or the teacher. Now we multiply it, the speed is multiplied. The speed is also multiplied. Instead of answering in 5, for example, or 10, seconds, now only 5 seconds, for example. Might be wrong, then we'll see. We'll see how it will be assessed. Yes. Very clear. Part of the house. All these activities are very, very helpful for the student, for engaging them, keeping them reading, writing, doing many other activities. Almost all these worksheets can be also sent in links, can be downloaded for the student. They are very, very, very helpful, and they are very interactive. This is my part, and I say thank you very much for coming back to school. We should come back to school as very resourceful teachers, as very helpful one, so that our students can make use of all these resources available, whether in Google or the tools provided, or the applications. Thank you very much again for giving me this opportunity. Thank you very much.